Thanks for joining me on my living room floor. Today I wanted to talk about something that goes often overlooked in the Black community, and that's mental health. So this is something that I've personally been dealing with, so I thought I would share my story. I'm very open with my struggles because you never know who might be dealing with similar issues. So this past year I was dealing with a lot of depression and anxiety. I was sexually assaulted early last year by someone I considered a friend. Months later, I lost my father. Then I lost my job, and then I started losing my friend. So it seemed like things were just spiraling out of control. I never really cared for the idea of therapy. I thought it was cheesy. I thought I didn't need it. I thought it was expensive. So Illinois had a voucher for sexual assault victims, which allowed them to get treatment without paying out of pocket. This was completely covered by the state. This introduced me to the idea of therapy. Going to therapy helped me understand myself a little bit more. I didn't really like expressing my feelings, but it gave me an outlet to express those emotions that I've been bottling up. After the voucher expired, I stopped going for a while. The guilt of me not being able to revive my father lingered. I felt like no one would understand, so I just kept it to myself. This eventually led to depression and anxiety. After battling it on my own, I decided to go back to therapy, and I felt like me going to therapy meant that I couldn't handle problems on my own. This couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. It takes a lot of strength to, one, admit that you need help, two, to actually seek the help that you need. There's such a stigma in the Black community about therapy. Sometimes we think if we turn to God and pray, everything will go away. But we know that faith without works is dead. We, especially Black men, will turn to alternative methods to cope with our problems rather than addressing it, because sometimes it's just too painful. There are people who grew up in neighborhoods where gun violence was the norm, and talking to a therapist or a counselor may be what they need. We're so used to praying our problems away and putting on a brave face that sometimes it's actually hurting us more than it's helping us. Stephon Clark's brother, Stephante, is in the headlines more than his own brother because of his unprofessional behavior towards the media. Stephon Clark was an unarmed Black male who was murdered by the police in his grandmother's own backyard. His mother revealed that this is the second brother Stephante has lost, and that he is indeed suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It also doesn't help that we don't have enough Black counselors and therapists. It becomes easier to open up to someone who looks like you. Black people aren't allowed to have anxiety and depression. The issues we face on the regular impact the way we live, the way we move. That's all I have for today. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.